I worked the night shift at a gas station for 2 years before anything happened. Then a man started showing up every night at 2:14 in the morning, and he never once bought a thing. I took the overnight shift at a gas station off Route 9 because it paid $2 more an hour than days. And at that time, that mattered to me more than sleep. For the first year and a half, nothing weird happened. A few drunks, a few truckers, one guy who tried to pay for gas with a fishing rod, normal stuff. Then, in March, a man started coming in at 2:14 in the morning. I know the time because I glanced at the clock behind the counter the first night and it stuck with me. 2:14 felt like a strange, specific time for anyone to be out. He'd walk in, walk down the middle aisle, stand there for maybe 90 seconds and walk back out. No food, no drink, no gas, just in and out. The first night I figured he forgot something or changed his mind. The second night, the same thing, same aisle, same amount of time. By the fourth night I started timing him on my phone just out of curiosity. 94 seconds and 91 seconds and 96. I asked him once on night 5 if he needed help finding anything. He looked at me for a second, which was way too long, then answered, "Just looking." He said it with his voice flat, like he'd practiced the sentence. That's when I started paying close attention to what he was actually looking for. It wasn't the shelves, and he wasn't looking at a product. He was looking at the security camera in the corner, the one pointed at the register exactly at me, and then at the door, and then back at me, like he was checking sightlines, like he was checking how long it takes when someone to reach me. I told myself I was just being paranoid because overnight jobs do that to you. You start reading intent into everything because there is nothing else to do at 2 in the morning except think. But then I noticed the car, a gray sedan, parked at the far edge of the lot, engine off. Every night he came in, not near the bumps, not near the door, just far enough that if you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't clock it as connected to anything. On night 8, I texted my co-worker who worked in the night shift before me, a woman named Clara, and asked her if she'd ever seen a guy matching his description. She said yeah, she had a run-in with him too, except his visit to her started at a different time, 12:14. That's when it clicked. He wasn't visiting the store, he was visiting a schedule, her schedule, then mine. Once she'd been moved off nights, I didn't sleep that day. I called the store manager and told her I thought something was wrong. She said she'd looped in the district office, which in a job like that basically means nothing happens for 2 weeks. So I started changing my patrons. I stopped taking my break at the same time. I asked another employee, a stock guy named Miguel, who came in around 3. I moved the register so I wasn't facing away from the door. On night 11, the man came in at 2:14 like always, but this time Miguel was already there, unloading a delivery near the front window. Visibly present, visibly not going anywhere. The man stood in the aisle for maybe 20 seconds, not 19, 20. Then he left without looking at either of us. He never came back after that, not once. I checked the security footage archive out of habit for another month. Nothing. The grey sedan never showed up again either. I quit that job about 6 weeks later, for reasons that had nothing to do with him, or so I told myself, but I still remember 2:14 every time I see it on a clock, and I still don't park in the empty lots without checking who's sitting in the cars around me first. Security guards at my hospital aren't supposed to go above the 4th floor after midnight. Nobody ever told me why, until the night the radio told me someone was up there anyway. I worked hospital security for 3 years, mostly nights, and it's mostly quiet. The job was 90% walking hallways with a flashlight, because I never needed a 10% dealing with confused visitors who wander in during visiting hours and lost track of time. There was one unofficial rule that every guard who trained me had passed down without much explanation. Don't go above the 4th floor after midnight, unless dispatch specifically sent you. The official reason, according to my supervisor, was that the 5th and 6th floor were mostly administrative offices, empty overnight, and not worth the foot traffic. That answer never quite sat right with me, but I didn't push it. You don't push things in a job where the senior guys go quiet when you ask too many questions. About 8 months in, on Tuesday night, my radio picked up a chatter that wasn't supposed to be there. Our internal channel is supposed to be a guards and dispatch only. What came through was a voice, low, unhurried, saying a room number on the 5th floor, just the number and nothing else. I called into the dispatch. The woman on the duty, whose name was Denise, told me nobody on our team was on that channel and nobody was on 5. She told me to hold my position and wait for her to check the cameras. She came back about 90 seconds later and said the 5th floor hallway cameras were showing static, all 4 of them at the same time. And I want to be clear that I am not the kind of person who speaks easily. I'd broken up fights in the ER waiting room. I'd walked in on a man having a psychotic episode alone in a stairwell. None of that scared me the way the hallway did. Denise sent me because police required a guard to physically check in any camera outage. No exceptions. Even on the floor nobody talks about. I took the stairs instead of the elevator, which in hindsight was probably the wrong call, because it gave me more time to think about what I was walking into. The 5th floor hallway was dark except for the exit signs. The cameras were exactly where they should be, lenses intact, and nothing physically wrong with them that I could see. I read you with that in, then I heard the door, not a door slamming, but a door being pulled shut carefully, the way you would close if you don't want anyone to hear you leave a room. It came from the hallway to my left, the one with the offices. I walked toward it because that's the job. I checked every door on that side, all locked, all dark inside through the little windows, exactly the way an empty admin floor should look at 3 in the morning. Except one door had a window that was fogged, like someone had been standing close enough to breathe on the glass, recently enough that hadn't fully cleared. I didn't open it. I've asked myself since why I didn't, and the honest answer is I didn't want to know badly. And the honest answer is I didn't want to know badly enough to actually find out. I read you with Denise, told her the floor was clear as far as I could confirm, and went back downstairs. The cameras came back online about 10 minutes later. No explanation. They checked them the next day and found nothing wrong. No corrupted footage, no signs of tampering. I asked one of the older guards, a man named Ferris, who'd worked there almost 20 years, if he knew anything about the 5th floor. He didn't laugh it the way I expected. He just said, "You checked the doors and came back down? Good, that's the job." I never got a real answer out of him. I stopped asking after that, the same way everyone before me had. I still work nights at a different hospital now, and I still don't go above where I thought to go, even when nothing's telling me to.